You're good. Intro go.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is the Janitorials. If you missed our last show, I mean, where the fuck were you? You missed a great one. It was our first show. When we're gonna save it though. We're not gonna release that one. We're gonna release this one once we get to 1,000 likes across all of our social platforms. On YouTube is the Janitorials. Look it up. Please hit that like button and subscribe. If you like any of the gear that we're wearing, hit us up. Badass Moms makes it. That's right. I said Badass Moms make it. If you just want to reach out to the show, janitorials22@gmail.com. Hit us up. We'll respond. Now let me introduce everybody on that you see on the show here. The man sitting to my left. This man has the voice of a sexy Earl Jones. I'm telling you.
What's going on, everybody?
See?
Glad to be here. Second show. Like my man said, we're going to be bringing you good content. Thank you for being here. And also, keep a watch out.
All right. The guy sitting next to me, he hangs up on his wife when she calls and starts yelling at him. he is Jerry. Introduce yourself.
You think I'm lying? Watch this.
Oh,
See you next time.
She legit was calling right there. He hung up on her. The man that you can't see, but you're going to hear his voice every once in a while. We call him the Wizard over there. He does everything audio and visual for us. You know, yeah, he's behind the scenes. But it's the Wizard. That's what we call him.
Someday we'll all get back to Oz. Fuck. I said something, but not this go around.
And as we introduce him as the audio and visual guy,
He straight fucks up by having himself muted.
Didn't push that button.
All right, it's the first time for everything, right?
So today's show is about prepping. A couple people on the show way more involved in it than I am, but that's what we're here to talk about today. So I'm going to ask everybody, what do you think prepping is? Joe Bear?
So, prepping is stacking it to the rafters, you know, and what I mean by stacking it to the rafters is you got your grains, your beans, bullets, and grains, and of course shelter. For example, I started prepping in 2012 for Hurricane Sandy. During Hurricane Sandy, we actually lost power for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And I just fucking went shopping. My girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, love you, babe.
Well, hold on. We'll get into that. I was looking more for like a definition.
What do you think it is?
Prepping. What's your definition?
Like when you first hear it.
Just setting aside, provisions for hard times. And it could be, on a macro level or a micro level. So, on a smaller scale, like losing a job, you could set food aside. And if you lose your job, you got some stuff to kind of hang on to. So.
Okay. Jerry, what do you think the definition is?
I think it's a lifestyle. I feel that certain people, they prep for different things, but where you're born and raised is set with what you prep for.
Okay. I'm going to take a completely different view on it. I'm going to say, y'all crazy, man. You see the show Doomsday Preppers and all that. They're out there crazy, man.
They are
spray
crazy.
painting their car. They got
crazy.
I say they're all crazy, but I'm coming. We've already talked about. I'm coming to your house.
That's right.
When shit goes down, I'm going to Jerry's. But you don't think like a little crazy has a little bit to do with it?
Absolutely. I think we're all crazy.
Because you can't plan for the future and that,
No.
right? Prepping, I think planning for the future.
You do it to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
It's a better form of life insurance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You have car insurance, you have your quote unquote commercial life insurance, but to me, this is the best insurance that you can have.
I mean, think about it. Did you run out of toilet paper in COVID?
No.
No?
No.
Did you buy a lot?
Yes.
That's prepping, my friend.
I know. That is, it is. There's different levels of it. I like how you describe it as insurance, though. It's going to pay out when you need it, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Correct.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you how Google defines prepping.
Okay.
All right, defines prepping as creating plans, gathering resources, and developing skills to overcome emergencies, disasters, and survival situations. And I think that's the perfect time to say, let's just see where this goes.
Yep.
I agree.
All right, Jerry, what topic you want to hit first?
So I don't know how many of you guys out there actually know how many different types of prepping there is. I don't want to list them all. I have them all listed, but we're only going to go over 3.
Okay.
So the 3 that I was thinking about doing was the survivalist, the homesteader, and the average prepper. And
Okay.
so, I mean, kind of going into what Joe Bear was saying a little bit, depends on what you want to do and where you see like the disaster. So, like Joe Bear obviously went through that disaster and with the hurricane that came through. So, what type of prepping did you do?
Well, we actually started prepping after Hurricane Sandy. So what I realized, I mean, around that time, I was really paying attention to the news, and most notably is so people were literally standing in knee-high water, standing outside at the gas station in lines, and they were fighting. And this was national news. And when I was seeing this, it sparked something inside of me, like this can happen anywhere. This can happen anywhere. You know, you and a lot of those people, I know they probably had like generators and stuff like that. So that's why they're standing in there in that water, literally in New Jersey. The water was up to their kneecaps, and they're standing there fighting over who can have, who's in line and all that stuff like that. So that kind of prompted me to started looking into more prepping.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, so
that was the
Go ahead.
kickoff for you then.
that definitely, certainly. That's actually around the time that I bought my first firearm too. So
What was the first thing that you bought? Do you remember?
yeah, it was actually a $20 machete from Walmart.
Got to protect your own, right?
You gotta. My wife and I, we were super pumped. That was our first method of protecting ourselves. It was actually her. She picked it out. I still have it to this day.
So, I know, like the average prepper, like I mean, just like when COVID hit,
Yeah.
they started prepping for like toilet paper, extra food, that kind of thing. But I see myself more along the line of either like a survivalist
Yep.
or a homesteader.
Yep.
When everybody was going out and getting the toilet paper, me and my wife, we weren't really caring about that. We went out and we started buying seeds. So that way we knew that upcoming seasons we weren't gonna have to go to the stores. We can start growing our own food, which we already do.
Yep.
But my family's kind of a little bit different. It's like, so we grew up really poor, so we started prepping every hunting season. So we would get our food, start either smoking it or freezing it for the entire year to come.
Okay.
So that's how I really started getting into it. It's more homesteading.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys are completely different.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you do it for food and family.
He does
You did
for
it because you were
disasters.
put in this
Well, yeah,
natural disaster.
just a security measure.
Right.
So like if we have something that comes through like that again, like in my case, I have 3 freezers full of meat. Worst case scenario, if I lose power, I have a smokehouse.
Yep.
Just throw all my meat in there. I start smoking it.
So let me ask you guys this then. It's a weird question. So like every time I live kind of out in the middle of nowhere, not like the man to my right, but I got to drive like 20 minutes to get to a Walmart, right? Do you consider this prepping? Like if I go to Walmart, I'll buy like 6 things of deodorant because I don't want to drive there every other week.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like a form of prepping?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a small form.
That's a small
Yeah,
form.
yeah,
Like, I
that's-
mean,
that would-
that's more comfort, but yeah.
Right.
That would be more like micro. Be more of a micro.
An
type of
average
thing.
prepper, that's how they usually start out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
There's now casual prepping, right? So you can now just go straight. All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. So now there's now casual prepping, like because of COVID, everybody's got that fear now. You can even go somewhere at Costco, and they have the stuff ready to go for you now. They got the pails and everything.
Yeah, so I put that
do.
under the category as an average prepper.
Okay, so that's why I said casual.
Yeah. So like a casual prepper, that kind of thing, they don't have a 2-year supply of food. They don't have
No, hell no.
all that. I mean, they're starting to get like maybe they have enough for like 2-3 weeks. They don't have to go out every week to buy toilet paper, that kind of thing.
So that's where I was trying to say. I was just there the other day, and they had the buckets, and that's the start for me. Is
Yep.
when you
Yeah.
start getting
Yep.
those plastic pails that can
Yes.
survive water.
And they probably have like 2 to 3 guns or something like that as well. Just starting out.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The average prepper.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So once I move out this way and get situated, I'll be doing the same shit because I'll have a place to put stuff.
Right.
But I don't have that right now where I live.
Right. And you probably don't have like a 12-month storage of water or anything like that.
No, I can't. I got everything's week to week, month to month.
Yeah.
Right. And that's average.
That's average.
Yeah, it is.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yep.
But I'm looking to break away to where Joe Baird's at. Not quite the level where he's at yet, because I don't have a house and freezer and all that shit.
Right.
Well, Jerry's got a goddamn farm.
Yeah.
But that's what we're all trying to get to.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
there you go.
That's-
That's
You know
where I
what
was
I mean?
trying to
Like-
get at to. You got the farmer
Yeah.
and you got the city folk. Where's your average level begin and end? Because your farmers, they were born to do it.
And that's what I was kind of getting at. Like, I feel like I have a leg up with everybody sitting at the table for that because of my background and how I was growing up.
Bro, you're a hunter.
That's true.
Definitely, man.
true.
You run the Travis Ranch.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
The Travis Ranch.
Give me that brand.
Right?
Doo-doo. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That's beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So, like the survivalist, I know Joe Bear's trying to get more into that. He's, already starting to buy property. Just looking at maps, I was able to show Joe Bear, like, where game would be traveling. And he went there and scouted out a little bit and was able to find...
That's cool as fuck.
Right? So, just knowing that information, it's all part of prepping.
Yeah.
And Joe Bear's
Yep.
getting ahead of the game with that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they don't run by the clock, though. That's an inside
He
joke,
go
man.
hungry.
My man
He
was
go
like
hungry.
2 hours late today for the show.
Here you go, hungry.
Yeah. That.
He didn't prep for the prepping show.
So really early on in prepping, I figured out that I was running out buying stuff and in increments, but I learned very early that you have to protect your shit. And then on top of that, I know I'm gonna get some flack for this, but look at movies. Look at the movies. There's these folks that live off of these main roads and they prep and they're always getting hit because they're off of main roads. So my thing was, there's this documentary called Strategic Relocation. And this guy, he used to be a CIA agent, and he talks about how to, what to look for as far as a remote retreat. So I took some of these, some things from the documentary, and I found a really good spot. We have natural water, and we have a lot of natural barriers for security reasons, and we're literally on a ridge on top of a mountain. So there's one way up and one way down, and for someone to come up there to start some trouble, I will see them miles before they even get up there. So they will have a hard fucking time fucking with us.
But see, like that's the other thing with when it comes to prepping. Like you need a community.
Sure.
Boom.
Yeah, because you're talking doomsday
Prepping,
scenario.
right.
You're trying to isolate one way in, one way out.
Well, see, my thing was at that time, we were living 50 miles away from where I work. So I kept thinking to myself, if something happened today, let's just say an EMP happened and I'm having issues with my car because it's a newer vehicle, then I would have to walk these 50 miles. I would have to walk the 50 miles to get my daughter from her daycare and then walk another, 5 or 6 miles to our home. So I started planning this in a way that my family will be located in a remote area. So all I have to do is just get home.
Right.
That's all I have to do.
So my question is, do you have a bug up bag?
Sure.
Well,
So-
hold on. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask him another question.
Go ahead.
So once you get home, what if there's 30 people standing out your front door?
That's a great question.
That
About
is.
10 yards away, and you're standing in
Oh,
your
here we
doorway.
go. Here we go.
You think you're going to get all
Here
of
we
them?
go. Well, first of all,
No.
First of all, so the property is up the mountain on a ridge. It's a dead end. Majority of city folks, they're terrified to go in this type of areas.
But
They
why-
are
why are
terrified.
they-
Push to
Let's-
come
let's
to
go-
shove, it don't
yeah.
fucking matter. We're
No, I
talking
wanna-
about what he said. Unless you have the community, like I told you the
Yeah,
other day,
there is
it's not going to happen. We got to have that bunkered in with everyone else,
Right.
Because you got to be like, all right, Jebediah, you see what's going on?
So
No, but let's go into that a little bit though. So because like what you were saying, in a lot of people don't want to go up there because of the stereotypes.
Right.
They think these people that live off the land are these
Wrong Turn.
redneck,
Wrong Turn. Look at the movie Wrong Turn. That was literally based out of West Virginia,
Baton
and it's
Rouge,
and it's a real family.
It
That
is.
family really exists.
Yes.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like, it depends on what location.
Right,
where
but
I'm at in the country.
It doesn't really matter
Okay,
though. Like,
I'm gonna tell
everybody
you
speaks
what,
the same
gentlemen.
language.
I literally sold death insurance. They call it life insurance. Whatever.
Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you for the
Anyways, tried to sell that life and death
We
policies,
offended somebody.
and ultimately, I was sitting and going in places like you guys are talking about. I was driving to the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And houses you'd be roll up on this motherfucker, pull a gun on you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
think that and your house would look like a freaking shack.
Yeah, but
Yes.
see, you would
Yep.
you would run into those same exact type of people if you go downtown Baltimore.
That
It
is
is-
so true. That
You know
is
what I
so
mean?
true.
that's the stereotype.
That is so
needs to
true.
get broken.
Yep.
Because everybody thinks that it's that type of way when it's not. Like, these people will give you the shirt off
Yes,
their back,
for sure.
help you.
For sure.
I believe that's true if you can still speak the lingo. It's always that way.
Absolutely.
If I roll into Baltimore, I got to turn into a crackhead all of a sudden just to get around.
I don't know about
I don't know, man. If you treat somebody the way you want to be treated, I know there's different levels to that.
So okay.
I don't know.
So
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that a
I
little
do
bit.
too.
So let me give you an example. When I bought that property, the property had been on the market for 10 years. It had been on the market for 10 years, and it was just overgrown, and it was just a huge wooded lot. And when I cleaned up that lot and got it excavated and everything like that, the community up there, they were so thankful. They would stop and introduce themselves to me.
Yeah.
And I'm as you can see, I'm a person of color.
What color were your neighbors?
They were all white. All of
Like
them.
this stereotype.
They were all white, and they were such fine people. Such fine people. Honestly, some of the most nicest people I've ever met. And all of them they all said the same thing to me. If you ever need anything, do not be afraid to ask us.
Yep.
If it's heavy machinery to move stuff, or if you need some help doing something, let us know. Even if you need water.
Here's what I think.
Let us know.
When you were moving in, they were profiling you.
No.
No.
No, they wanted to know
no.
if you were part of their tribe or not. Are you going to be that reclusive person
Well-
that sits up there and acts like a crackhead?
Well, we when they rolled up, I would speak to them. They see how I speak. I'm not sitting here,
I know.
slanging
That's
and
what
all
I'm
that
saying.
bullshit.
It's like when you go down south, the country people have a certain way of speaking and they talk to you.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to understand that speak, they could just be telling you to go fuck off while you're telling you they're the greatest
That's very
thing
true.
since sliced bread.
Bless your heart, Justin.
I know.
He just
But-
told
I'm
you go
just
fuck
trying
off.
But they
to
will.
not actually do
they,
that.
they saw my family unit. I think that's what got a lot of respect for that community up there, because they would see me out there working, and they would see my two children and my wife, doing things in the background as well. So
I think
they'll
that's
pull
why-
up.
I think that's exactly.
They would not drive, and this is how much respect they had for me, is they wouldn't pull up my drive. What they did was they pulled in front of my property, because it's all dirt road back up there. I mean, it's all maintained by us. So they would pull up in front of the property and they'll flag me down. They didn't pull up the driveway or anything, because it's just disrespectful for you to pull on somebody's property. And majority of those people, the average age up there is just like, it's like 50 or 60 and up. Those people, they've been there like coal mining people, and they just
their
stayed
family's
there.
done moved on.
And they've
Right.
done the prepping their entire life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Their kids
It's
moved
all-
on. They're there by themselves right now.
It's all cattle
they-
grazed property.
They're
It's all
loving
cattle
some
grazing.
young person moving in. To
Right.
Relive
and
their
they
way.
were
They're happy.
very excited about
They're
it.
very excited
Yeah.
for someone to move in and live their way.
Yeah.
Right.
But like you said, so I don't live too far away from Joe Barrett, and I go to a restaurant every Sunday, and I see these people that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I would like to think though they seen you out there working, and they're like, man, I respect that hard ass work.
Yeah.
Every time I have a conversation with anybody when I'm up in your neighborhood, it's always about work
Yeah.
Yeah.
and farming.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Well, I mean, this is a
I think
farming
that's
area.
just the
I mean,
talk. What
it's-
you know how when you go
that
to
is what it
anywhere,
is.
people have their thing they talk about.
True, but so like that's why I was thinking like the race thing. Like I don't think They care.
It's not
No,
a race thing.
it
That's
is-
why I want to break
They
this.
saw you-
this stereotype
Yeah.
because it has nothing to do
No.
with race.
Because it
For
goes
prepping,
both
no.
ways, right?
So-
Prepping, no.
So I'm originally from Michigan, and I've experienced more racism in the North than I have actually down here in West Virginia and Maryland.
Which is below the Mason-Dixon line, people.
Oh my god.
We're Southern.
We don't need to get into the history lesson how the North is actually racist.
But that does play a part though, because if you do look at the history of West Virginia, you will know that they were neutral throughout the Civil War. They were neutral.
Go. What you looking for?
I was about to
tell
say
me
it doesn't.
where you
It
wanna
does
go.
depend on where you live, for where and how prepping
Well,
goes.
we're gonna get it. That's gonna be a whole.
Yeah,
other
that's
show.
gonna be a 3-parter.
Yeah, because I
least.
love my history.
Episode 1.
I promise you, it is going to be a 3 or 4-parter.
Yeah.
Maryland versus West
Oh
Virginia.
my God, yeah. So, but like,
And a little bit of Virginia.
yeah. So,
Personally, I don't care because I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to move to,
He's
so I
moving-
can
he's
begin
moving
to
up
do this
towards us.
farming prep. Yes,
he's moving. up
working my
towards
way
us.
there. It was hard. You know,
So-
he had to hang up on his wife.
Yeah.
I had to convince her that we can leave the city.
Well, I'm going to jump in on the y'all see me. I'm going to text my wife, stop the water. Tell the dog to shut the fuck up. We're recorded.
I figured that's what it was. I figured that's what it was.
But like, kind of getting back into it. So, like Joe Bear's situation, like with those people, they probably have enough backwood knowledge, and that's what I'm going to call the survivalists, to be able to like, bushcraft things.
Yep.
I call it jerry rigging only because it's my name, but we can get things done that the city people have no idea what
No.
to do.
As long
No.
as we got water, I can make electricity.
Yes.
if it's moving. So
But
I'm good.
Would you really even need electricity at that point?
Dude,
No.
I can light
it's nice to
candles.
have it.
I
It's
light
nice-
candles.
Can you
or
make candles?
Yeah.
My wife can. She can make
Really?
candles, soap. She knows how to sew. I mean, she currently she works at a farm. She left her career making over $100K to go work on this farm,
In the dream.
and she loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it.
So
she
we
loves
were,
working.
You know,
there.
my family, we were doing both, but we kind of got rid of all the animals because our son trying to get some more time. But we're right now. My wife's literally calling me about the house that she's looking at for more acreage. So
You know where her mind's at.
yeah, like we're gonna get animals again. I know it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
cool.
I'll
Trust me, it
I'll be
upset me
standing
for
out.
her when Jerry told me that they couldn't have him and had to put the cow down, and then the snake got
It was-
ate by a rat.
it was buffalo.
I got sad
Buffalo.
even worse time.
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I had to shoot the buffalo.
I know. We're trying to build a farm here.
Tatonka.
Very delicious.
We went backwards to forward, so eventually,
It's always I'm always
Jerry's
one
Meat
step
Flaps.
backwards, 3 steps forward. Holler at me, I'm gonna get the Jerry meat flaps up.
Fats.
Shameless plug.
It is a shame.
It is.
The whole
Everybody
shit is
here has
shame.
had
I mean,
meat-
fuck.
my
the
meat
whole
goddamn-
Janitorials.
The whole goddamn show's a shame.
I mean, so like
Have you seen our nice wood wall?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a paneling, man.
That's hand done, motherfucker. I want everybody to know this is hand done by me and this man. Right.
Oh,
Hold on. Wait, what?
Well, I was thinking about today where we hung it up. We did the hard work.
But what happened before you hung it up? though?
Joe Bear was a part. Joe Bear was a
Yeah,
part.
Joe Bear was a part of it. The wizard.
It's okay. I try to get here.
did.
I just been
I know
very
you.
sick.
You had stuff going on.
I'm
You had
very
stuff
sick
going on.
individual, in both good ways and bad.
No, but like to the survivalist though, like I don't know enough of like the plant knowledge that I do want to learn that, and there is a book, The Old Ways.
Worth getting. Should
Which-
not advertise it.
Yes, sorry, plugging that too. But I have read it at least twice, and I
More
do,
shameless advertising by Jerry.
Fuck it. Hey,
Hey,
I'll get it for you.
if it works, it works.
Well, I mean, like I really did enjoy that read. I'm not a book reader. I read every single page of that book.
Yeah.
So
I think
mean,
that's different though, because when you're dealing with books like that, I can't put them down
No.
because I want to make it happen.
Yeah.
Versus I'm
Yep.
trying to sit here and do some theoretical calculations. Well, my brain can't do it.
I mean, kind of like, a guy at our work, he was asking me, can you take me mushroom hunting? That's something that I am not comfortable enough to do because I don't want him going out. If I teach him which ones to pick and he goes out on his own, something that can poison and kill his whole family.
Right.
I bought the books on it.
Books is great. Books
got
is
the
great, but
Forager book and
I
everything.
don't want to be responsible for
Right.
teaching you which ones to go and get. I show you the correct ones, but then you go out on your own and you grab one that's poisonous. You understand what I'm saying?
Are you
Yeah,
worried
yeah.
as the homesteader that people are going to come and try to take over your property
Absolutely.
first? Right?
Not first. I feel that all the stores are going to get hit first. Once that happens, then they're going to go to their neighbors, and then once they run out of that,
Me and
then
Joe
they're gonna
Barry
go-
talked about this.
Yeah.
You have to build a cache. You have to keep it.
Not really a cache. You need to have multiple caches.
That's what I'm saying. You got to have one house that's just your normal house, and you got to have another house with your cache in it. Because
really.
I think if everybody,
Well, you can bury that shit. You
that's
don't
what I'm
even-
trying
you-
to say.
yeah,
Remember
you
we were
don't
talking
have
about
to-
about your house, and then we buy the property out back. No one's going to know the property's out back.
Right.
You bury the cache out back,
right,
dig a
right.
fucking tunnel system to it.
Yeah.
But I do think that eventually, once the stores and stuff
Shit
get
ton
run
of
out,
work.
yeah, they're gonna get out there.
Yeah.
But when they do,
You would
that's-
want it if the system collapses.
which I have, so it's good.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think fruits and veggies and food and what
Right.
he's talking about is going to be way more valuable than a cash. That's-
Right.
a
the-
cache of
No,
food.
that's what he's talking
a
about.
food
like
cache underground.
bank
Oh,
of
okay,
all
okay,
that
okay. I
stuff.
think you're talking
I'm
about
not-
fucking monetary cash.
No.
Well, you see where I'm
When I-
at. That's why I'm coming to
Monetary
Jerry's house. That's why I'm going to Jerry's house,
Like
man.
we got fruit trees, we got veggies. I got all kinds of things.
Seed is gold.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's
yes.
talking about CACHE,
Oh,
not CASH.
Yeah.
Zach's dumb moment.
You can tell who the city boy is.
Right? That's right. You heard my wife up there talking about $700 Jordans, right?
Oh my god,
I can't, man.
that's 2 car notes.
Yeah. But I'm not embarrassed about that shit. I'm going to go get them.
I'm gonna go get him.
No, but to answer your question, yeah, I do think eventually they will get out to that
Can't you just
location.
wait till we get the Jordan Janitorials editions? Like
Oh, those are going to be free, man. I'm part of the show.
You're right.
you see what Supreme has done. We need to be like
Right.
that, like the Supreme store.
It's supreme.
That would be the first Jordans I get. Just saying.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah, you're gonna buy it. I will never buy a pair of Jordans
I've
until our
never
name's on
owned
the
it.
side of them bitches.
Never owned a pair. Never. I was more of a Adidas guy.
Yeah.
But what were you saying, Jerry?
So, yeah, back to the homesteader. Like, is there a defensive style homesteader?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I mean, like I was saying, like the average prepper starts getting like 2 to 3 guns. Survivalist probably has more. They probably have around like 15, 20, and they have a couple, couple rounds. I'll say that. I ain't gonna say how many, but
Freedom seeds.
right now, like the homesteader will probably fall in that too. It'll be enough to start a small army, and it's not just because we like our Second Amendment. No, we're gonna use them. We're gonna use them to hunt. We're gonna use them, to put animals down that are sick that we can't get.
And also family members who show up, you plan to get
Have a
them
good
up
time.
to par.
Absolutely.
Now,
Have a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stereotype you a little bit here.
Yeah.
When you're saying that, I'm thinking what I envision in my mind is y'all seen the movie Tremors?
Yeah,
Of
You know, the dude
course,
that-
of
that
course.
has the whole-
That's my basement.
Classic.
Right.
Of course.
It's a cult.
You're
Yeah.
not stereotyping. That's
Come
right.
on, Reba,
Right.
Reba McEntire and what's his name? I forgot what his name was.
Yeah, so that's
Bert.
what I'm envisioning when you're talking.
That's exactly right.
That's
And
it.
I'm just
it.
not to the point where I'm, reloading my own ammunition. I am getting there, but I have enough to be sufficient for
Yeah.
more than a couple years if I never buy another round of ammo.
So when I get to the level of helping out, I would want to be making
I'm
bullets.
trying to get to that level.
Yes, bullet making would be amazing.
But that's when you got.
I don't have the time
farm.
to do it.
You got to have the farm in the community.
You need the space. You got to have the
need-
space. That's for
Once-
sure.
Once you reach that level, your the way I look at it is all your prepper levels come together to make the place, compound,
Right.
whatever
It's all
community
networking.
networking
It's all
that you
networking.
built up
Yeah.
to be able to survive.
Yeah, it's all networking, So, once my farm is up and operational, I plan to get everyone here on board. So if anything was to ever happen, we all will have these skills to, because if I get knocked off the map, then at least someone else could carry on and, stay on my property and carry it on with my family.
Here's why I think preppers are great, because it fulfills my basic need of being able to teach.
Yep.
And if you don't
Yeah.
know how to teach people in life,
Yes.
you're
Yep.
useless.
So you will have to delegate. I mean, the lights go out. That's the first thing you're gonna have to do is delegate. For who's doing what, and and how I explained it to some of the people in my group is, everyone is gonna get a turn with sanitation. I'm not even immune. Because this, at that point, the lights go out. then the pumps stop pumping.
Keep going.
The pump stop pumping, and you might have to you might have to start
Keep going,
When you say the pump,
yeah. So like
when you say the pumps are off, you're talking about when everybody's water stops.
yeah, water,
All the luxuries
flushing toilets,
all the luxuries of Rome 2.0.
Correct.
All right, because that's what I was trying to say. I'm trying to get to that point where we're back to as analog as fuck as it gets.
Yes.
You've seen the thing where we make the stream, get the
Right.
hydrogen electric room. It's 2 different wires going into some battery terminals, stuff that we can literally build ourselves in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Well, that's a perfect transition. Like the survivalist.
That's what it's really down for me. It's how many in your group are actually survivalists, can literally live on nothing for days and only drink water while you have to take care of your women and children.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily that you'll actually have to eat nothing. I mean, the survivalist is going to know what they can and can't eat, and they can.
When I say
collect that.
survivalist, is what I mean like this. But we were just talking about when Rome 2.0 goes back down, you're back to where it was when it's all tribes against each other. You're back to just eating fucking vegetation that you find in the
will
wild.
be the gatherer.
Yeah, you're back to gathering.
Little House on the Prairie
and
type
you,
shit.
And you
No,
go
that's
back
a
to
homesteader, my friend.
you go back to foraging and filling your cash supply again, so that your families can sustain while your Jerry's go back out and bring more stuff back.
All right, so let's clear something up a little bit. So like what you were talking about, like Little House on the Prairie. To me, that is the homesteading.
Yes.
What Justin's talking about is like the show Alone, right? Where they have a select select
So bushcraft.
thing, yeah, and they have
Bushcraft.
to, yes.
It's minus what we were talking about earlier, like Jerry said. Like we don't have a cul-de-sac of all the families are in on everything. You're
Right.
by yourself. You're out there, sniper style.
Yeah, I mean
That's the lone prepper.
Yeah, survivalist.
But each person,
The super survivalist. Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like I'm the third. My dad was a hunter. His dad was a hunter before him, and we all learned or got taught from our fathers. So each one of my family members knew what they were doing, and was able to pass that down. I'm going to continue that tradition with my son,
Right.
and we're already doing that.
Man, where did I go wrong, man? My dad tried to hunt. He was hunting, and he teach me how to hunt, made me read all these deer hunting books and shit.
Yeah.
I love the city, man.
Yeah,
I love the city.
I love the city.
shit. I come out, hunters tell me, or farmers tell me kill them all. And when I come out with like 13 of them, they're like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm killing them all.
But you like to drink.
Well,
Oh, I
so
love drinking.
so at the end of the day,
You get the best booze in the country.
At the end of the day, as a survivalist, you're eventually
If we're
you'll
foraging
run.
it ourselves and making it ourselves, I get the best.
What's that?
Moonshine.
What's
Yeah,
that?
what were you
Oh,
gonna
moonshine. Oh yeah,
he's
that's
talking about moonshine.
that's a
It
whole
depends on-
different. That'll be gold.
We can run cars off that shit. What are you talking about?
That will be gold as far as like bartering and stuff like that. Because I've even talked to my wife about we're gonna make a little area on our farm where we can grow tobacco.
Dude,
So you can
I'll trade
we
you
can
meat
barter.
for tobacco.
Oh, that's it. We're done. Virginia
And
gold
what did I
all
just
day.
say?
Look, you
2,
see how we
3,
just
1.
did
We
it?
went right back to where it was 100 years ago.
We're
Okay,
back
but
to
look,
trading.
you're thinking best case scenario. What if somebody comes up and says, "I'll give you 1 radish for 1 bottle of moonshine"?
There's no way that
That's-
works.
that's
And
not-
then
that's-
you say no. Well,
so-
so, I'm gonna come rob you in the middle of the night.
So
Sorry,
that
hey.
won't happen. That won't happen.
Well, so you're thinking
my
best
security-
case scenario.
Hold on. My security on my property is going to be pretty beefy. It's going to be pretty beefy.
All right.
So let's go into security. So like, what type of securities have you set in place for? I mean, you don't have to go into.
Well, let's just
the
say
location shit.
let's
just say like, I'll start. I can go what I got. I have X amount of guns.
right.
I have thousands of rounds for each caliber. All my weapons are for hunting and some for personal self-defense. But majority of my guns is for hunting. And I do have night vision. I do have a suppressor, which I went through all the proper channels to do. I've gotten my clearances for all of it. And my community is also set up like that with my neighbors. So my neighbors, they have the beef. I have more of the
Where's
night
the
vision.
beef?
Oh, I got it. Freezer number 1. But yeah, so I mean, like in my case, like I do have night vision, which is battery powered, which I can hook up to my solar panels. So worst case scenario, I'll still have electricity for it.
Right.
But I also have guns that don't have scopes, and it's just open sights for when I do run out of things like that.
I feel like
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's going to be a stupid question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You have all those guns and all that bullet, but you're one person.
Mm-hmm.
You can only shoot 2 guns at one time, right?
No, I'm only going to shoot one at a time.
One at a time?
Absolutely.
I was just asking.
So, I mean,
Well,
come at
that's
me in the middle of the night.
And
I
what-
grab my night vision. I grab my night vision with my suppressor. You won't hear me coming. You won't see me coming. Now, like I said, all my guns has a purpose. So some guns are only for hunting,
Right.
Which the shotguns and that kind of thing. My self defense has my suppressor, has my night vision, and I do have a pistol for close range. Now, like Joe Bear was saying, like he has like his first purchase was machete. I have so many blades that I can't even count right now, because eventually we are going to run out of bullets. With worst case scenario,
Yep.
I don't have.
Y'all saw The Walking Dead. You're gonna need machetes and
Which
katanas.
I have katanas. My
Just
First
long
thing
neck.
he bought was a
I
machete.
I have bow and
knives
arrows.
on top of knives.
See, now you're speaking my language. Knives, but
Yeah.
I'll pick them up.
Yeah, bow and
Because
arrows.
I can deal with that. Bow and arrows, I can deal with that. I can
Like
move
these
that
guys
stuff.
think I'm joking, but I have a blowgun that at 40 feet I can shoot a cigarette butt out of your fingers.
I know. We're going to get this, actually. This is going to be...
This will be
action crossbows.
Hey, hit 20,000 likes and I'll shoot a cigarette butt out of this man's hand.
I'll tell you
Hell
what.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll drop it. If you shoot it, if you get 10,000 likes. See, he's laughing because he already knows where we're going. If you hit 10, if we hit 10,000 likes on any social media platform,
Oh, my God.
I promise you, I will hold my hand out here like this, holding a cigarette butt, and have my man right here blow dart it.
Yeah.
So Jerry was formerly a African in the Serengeti, if you guys didn't know that.
No. So he kind of went over his nationality. I mean, you really can't tell with my skin tone, maybe a little bit. I'm a little bit red skinned. So I go back to the Native Americans. So we had blowguns. Yes, we had, traditional style bow and arrows. And I was taught from a very young age to use all those.
So let me ask you this. What is your favorite knife? And what company is it?
My favorite company? It's not. I don't have one. It's hand forged.
You forged it yourself?
I did not.
So someone you knew?
Somebody I knew.
In the community?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Mine is actually SOG, by the way.
I was about to say, when you
I
get out in the
go to
country,
company,
it becomes
though,
like a common thing for knives to be traded.
it's gonna
among
be
these type of
K-bar.
people.
K-Bar?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm more of a SOG.
Yeah, I do.
More of a SOG
I
guy.
have SOG. I have SOG.
That is the best. They have the best knives. And
My
Gerber and K-Bar.
My issue with SOG is the internals of their folding knives.
That's why I don't get
grinding.
I don't get the folding knives. Yeah. The folding knife that I do have is Smith and Wesson, and
They're good.
yeah, those are
follow
pretty
those.
decent. Those are pretty decent, but for survival purposes, is fixed blade all day
Absolutely.
long.
Another shout out to K-Bar. That's
Please sponsor us.
Yeah,
Please.
please. I would love to have the K-Bar K2 Ridgeback. It's thick. It's just for survival.
I just want the one where it goes in, it threads you, and when it comes out, you're not going to survive.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about that twist.
Tactical
That's
knife.
the Troy. I forgot what it's called, but
3 blade with the twist.
yeah, it's like that actually looks pretty dope though.
It
I'm not gonna
does.
The ultimate survival tactical knife.
Serial killers, please subscribe. Sponsor us.
You're in the knife play and all.
Sponsor us.
No, like I've been collecting knives from a very young age. Like my dad started teaching me how to whittle when I was real little. Not very good at it, but I like to do it, and like sharpening knives. Sharpening knives is like a decompressor for me. That's like an art. Yeah.
All right, guys, we've come to the point. We've talked a lot, and we've, like always, we always going down rabbit holes. We never stay on topic. We never.
The prepper
Actually,
makes the list, but as
truly-
you can see, we didn't go through.
If you
all.
guys can see what I can see over here, this could be like a 5-hour show.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna go around the table. I'd like to give everybody 5 minutes. I'm not gonna take 5 minutes, but I know you and you are.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the wizard. just talk about what prepping is for you.
Who you want to
Well,
go
like
first?
like Jerry said, it's a way of life. You know, I started doing it as a hobby. Well, actually, it was some fear. It was some fear in there because of what I was seeing in New Jersey and New York during Hurricane Sandy. But then it turned into a hobby, and then from a hobby, it turned into a way of life. And then, like I said, it really, you know, while I was prepping it, you know, the veil started lifting up slowly, and I started realizing that, you know, I need to be responsible for myself and my family. You know, the cops, you know, I didn't pull up any, you know, any statistics, but, you know, it takes some time for cops to show up at your place. And by that time, you know, either you're 6 feet under, you know, or you had to put somebody 6 feet under already, you know, and I'm just not playing that shit. I'm not playing that shit. I have 3 females in my house, and I am the head of the household. So, you know, it gives me peace of mind to know that they will be safe where they are. You know, since we are 50 miles away from the nation's capital, if something was to happen at the nation's capital, I know my family's good. My family's out there, you know, in the sticks and with our community. Everyone knows everyone out there. So, you know, my position would be to just get home, you know, and then once I get home, you know, we just continue life as it is. You know, nothing really changes with us. You know, we're not flashy. We don't care, you know, about, you know, the latest watches and stuff like that. As I sit here with my $500 GPS watch right here, but thank you, baby, and thingy for my Christmas gift. But yeah, no, I mean, I carry every day. I carry my pistol on me. And I have 2 knives that I have with me, and then of course I got my GPS watch so I don't get lost. But I also have started reading. Well, I'm in the middle of this book called MAGS, and it's a mutually assistant groups. And what that is it's your inner circle of people that you can trust. So if something was to happen, your team is activated. You know, your team is activated. You guys go to the rendezvous point, and you guys are all protect each other. You all work together and you protect each other. So, you know, I encourage everyone here to look into MAG groups because it's just a network. It's a network.
Yeah, I support that phenomenally. You got to have a network. We've gone over a few different styles here. Except for one, the survivalists, they do everything on their own. But it seems like in these type of situations, you have to have a network of people, right?
For sure.
You definitely need to build a network.
It's more of a mixture.
You can try and be a loner.
Right?
You can be the ultimate survivalist, and I think you can do that too. But at the end of the day, it's always still good to have somebody covering your safety.
Yeah, you have
Right.
to, man.
For sure. For sure.
All right, for me,
We already know he's coming to my house.
yeah, I'm going to Jerry's house because I'm the opposite of Joe Bear. Like, I'm flashy. I like to.
Says the man without the $500.
I don't have a $500 watch, and I'm drinking out of a free mug here. Hit it up if y'all want
Free
it.
mug here.
But that's gonna go for $100. We'll start an auction. Zach's alcohol mug. Yeah, I'm not a big prepper. I should probably start that, but me and the Wizard probably do another podcast on government conspiracy and prepping.
Well, that's gonna. I'll be down for that.
You know what I see?
I'll be down for that shit.
Y'all don't see him, but whatever. That's another show.
Yeah, whatever.
That's another show. But I respect it though, guys. I do. I really do. I just don't do it as far as you guys do. That's my take on it.
So I'll go ahead and go next. So like I think that what we kind of went over, it needs to be a mixture of all of it because yes, you need to have a community,
Right.
But
Right.
you also need to be able to be knowledgeable enough to go
Yes.
out into the woods and to be able to survive on your own.
I thought that was the first prerequisite. If you can't survive in the woods, at least for a week on your own and know how to do it, you've already failed.
Right, but that's what we were kind of going over. Like the rest of the
You're no
other
good to
two
nobody.
that we've already went over, though, is more of a community based. The survivalist is by themselves, but I think that you need to be able to know how to hunt, how to track, how to fish to be able to survive. Now, like I said, I'm more of a homesteader. We don't spend that much money. I like to try to go and get things on a budget. We make our garden bigger every year, and we put a lot of hard work in. Like I work the same hours as these guys sitting at the table, and then come summertime I'm going out and helping the farmer do with hay and stuff for the animals like that. And it's 16, 17 hour, sometimes 20-hour day.
Yeah.
And then go back and do it all over again.
Yep.
But I do think that even if you don't think something, terrible is going to happen, or, zombie apocalypse, like I don't think a lot of people think that. But like kind of like what Joe Bear was saying, I prep even to be able to get back to my wife and my son. Yep. Like we work, like 60 plus minutes away from our houses. I have a bug out bag just in case something happens, even if I get stuck in a snowstorm and I can't go somewhere. Right. I have the ability to stay warm for that night and not go hungry because I have food in my bug out bag, and to be able to make it back to my family to where I have my other, like what Justin was saying, my cash.
The wizard.
Right, the wizard. The wizard. But yeah, so I think a good mixture of this makes a good way of life, and I think that people have gotten away from it, from the 50s. The 50s,
for sure.
And it's starting to have a big comeback.
You realize this is back what he was saying over there before for the next episode, because it's conspiracy.
It is.
You got a lot of things back in the 50s and 60s because of the fallout of nuclear war that drove us into bomb shelters.
Right, but what I'm saying is like our grandparents, they had way more knowledge than what we had.
They did.
And the last thing, if I can say anything else before, I know they want to try to wrap up, but I think it's making a big comeback because of all these TV shows that are doing it, and I think it's a great thing that they're doing that.
Well, we're actually living,
we're living in the next level recession.
We're living it right now, so
yes.
We're talking.
It's definitely
the reason
coming
why
back.
we had this show, and this why it's good, is because there is a giant conspiracy or a lie that's going on. Is the security blanket. We're trying to take the Band-Aid off and show people they need to make sure they're prepared with the fucking shit.
Right, but I'm talking about like more like the Doomsday Prepper.
Yeah, that's a different show.
All that kind of thing. Like a lot of these new TV shows are bringing light to like people like maybe like the Wizard or Zach here didn't really know about until they seen it on TV.
I knew all about it. I grew up this way.
I'm just saying in general.
But just to clarify, just to clear some things up, Doomsday Preppers was actually made to make the preppers look a little crazy.
Absolutely.
To make people not want to prep, or just to astray them. It's a little bit of misinformation with information. And there's they actually were prompted to into what to speak and what to say. So it wasn't Doomsday Preppers wasn't like a freestyle where everyone was like, hey, look, this is what I do. This is the reason why. They had a guide of what they could say and do. So that's to clarify that.
Yeah.
I know we're at an hour. Some shows go hour and a half. If y'all want to keep talking.
No, we're good. We're wrapping up.
Well, I want to give a shout out to the ladies. We all have wives here. We talked a lot about what we're going to do and do this and that, but they're going to do the back work, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So shout out to the wives.
Yep.
Thank y'all.
Actually,
we love you.
I'll call you back.
It literally just to wrap it up. It took me some time to get my wife on board, because she wasn't used to that lifestyle. So what I did was I started introducing her to camping and stuff like that over the years. So when I first met her and I told her how I wanted to live and where I wanted to end, she was kind of, she looked at me a little bit crazy, but she started seeing the signs herself, so you have to let people wake up at their own pace. You have to let them go at their own pace. So
yeah, because they don't want to be ripped from the Matrix.
But
absolutely,
I've tried. It's painful. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of talking about that, like my wife, she was very similar to what I am. Homesteading. Her grandmother taught her how to can, and we still continue that. So it really wasn't that much of trying to get her on board.
Yeah.
Hey, I grew up in a town of 10,000 people, just to let you know. I know how to garden and do all that shit.
This guy, I bet
I love
that green thumb I see.
I love the city, though.
Yeah.
But to wrap it up, to all the wives, shout out. We couldn't do it without you. You guys do all the hard work. Like Joe Bear said, it takes a community. It starts with the wives.
Yep.
Peace out. See you guys next episode.
Later.
See you.